Hello Taurus, and welcome back to my channel. So I'm just like reviewing the cards. I have gone ahead and pulled the second set, but like going back and looking at the first set of cards, there's a lot of crown illumination, because what I'm seeing is it's like your crown initially when you spot this other, right? And then their crown, you see how the star is coming from behind and like it's coming to their mind, to their crown. It's like they're being illuminated about you. And then it's like you're presenting each other's crown, or your crown to the other. So like this one, right? You here, Taurus, presenting this. What is this called? It's not called a lyre. Lyre, like that's like a harp or something. It's, what are they called? What is that tree? Laurel. There's like a laurel reef. And it's like that's what you're presenting as your crown to the Empress. And then this Empress is presenting the flower. And the flower comes along with the message of like this is a blessing, but it also speaks of like the cosmic flower, or the flower of life, the crown, like the crown flower of life, the crown chakra. It represents the crown chakra. So it's like you're both presenting like a crown illumination to each other. It's very interesting. It's like once you see it, you can't unsee it, because you've been illuminated to it. And that's what this is. It's like there's a message that's coming from the universe. It involves one of your birthday wishes. And it's like, that's like, I don't know why this is present. It's like that's presenting as this crown illumination. It's like the Wheel of Fortune is turning. And so both of you are being illuminated to the other. Both of you are being illuminated to the other. Like you're meeting. It's like a meeting. It's like a meeting point. There's a meeting point. There's a little bit of like shock in what's happening, and also kind of like a little bit of, well, because the one who's, because this one, the one who's presenting as the star and the Empress, it's like, because it seems like this illumination is happening for you first, Taurus. So you've kind of got a little like head start. Haha, head. Anyways, so you kind of got a head start on this illumination, and then they're receiving it. So there's a little bit of shock in the, like, you could have come and told me this sooner type of thing. You didn't have to hide out in the woods. Like, you could have made yourself known sooner. It seems like that. It's like you could have made yourself known sooner. But you kind of couldn't, because you're in this hangman position. There's something about it that it's like the universe set this up so that you could enjoy the experience. That's what this is about. It's like it was set up, it was designed for you to enjoy this experience. And so that's why this one didn't know immediately upon your approach. So we're starting the second row off with the Strength card. And this is coming through as their alarm. You remember you guys were standing, well, you, Taurus, standing in the woods, kind of peering out into the clearing and seeing seeing the beauty that is inside of this creek, bathing themselves, caring for themselves, right? It's got a lot of self-love in it. And then the Strength card is presenting itself as that alarm, the alarm that goes off that alerts them to your presence, right? And then of course they then put their robes back on. You learn of their true identity. You learn of their true identity. And then also this this lion has like materialized. There's something about that because it's here in the, it's here as all of these pomegranates, pomegranate flowers, which makes me think of like a high priestess. This pomegranates reminiscent of the high priestess. And then it shifts into like, there's a lot of shifting. There's actually a lot of, that's the thing, there's a lot of movement, but it seems on the surface, everything seems to be very, very still. So what this kind of is telling me is that, yes, you've been caught. You've somehow or another, you've presented yourself in a manner that is, I want to say, respectable, like mistakes being forgiven, if you will, for peering at them. And then it's kind of like, then they take, it's like they're right, because you've discovered that they're kind of like the empress, right? The empress of the land, the queen of the land. They're of the ruling family. And then what's happening is like they're taking you into like their space. They're taking you into their space. And then all of this pomegranate transitions into this lion. There's a shift here. It's like this was unknown. For you, Taurus, this aspect is unknown. You haven't yet met this lion. And so it's like they're bringing you into their space so that you can meet, well, all of them, right? You met them it's like you're meeting them at a place where they don't have much on them. There's, like, they didn't have their clothing, they didn't have their familiar, if you will, all of that stuff. They were just naked, right? Naked in the woods, only with their bathrobe. And now that they've got that, they're still, this can be like representing like the foliage around the area. And then now that you've been kind of like brought to the house, it's like you're now meeting this energy, this lion energy, and there's something about it that is acting as an alarm. It might be because this lion, I'm not sure if this could be, it could be an individual, I'm not sure though. They're very protective. There's a protection here, a protection over the Empress. So if there's a little bit of like wanting to defend the Empress, wanting to defend the, what do you call that? Like wanting to defend her honor, if you will, something along those lines. But then here you are, Taurus, presented as the Hierophant. And what I'm seeing here is like you're trying to like cool everything down. You see his hand, it's like trying to cool everything down, like allowing the lion to sniff you. It actually kind of looks like if you've met someone and they've invited you to their house, this is like their dog, something like that, and like the dog's a little protective over them. And so you're trying to, keep your energy really calm so that it's not alarming to this protector, familiar. It could even be like a pet. You see what I mean? It's like you're allowing them to smell you. That's what this is. Because we have the Seven of Wands that's coming up after the Hierophant, and it's like that's what this is. It's like you can tell that this creature here is, you know what I mean, is on edge. They're on edge, and so you're doing what you can to kind of relieve that tension. Wasn't there a tension? There is a tension. You're doing what you can to relieve the tension, which is, you know, allowing them to smell you, you know, just kind of like being in the space, not necessarily taking up too much space, you know, being respectful, being modest, being humble. Like that's what this energy is. It's like you're coming in to their space. Wasn't that knowing your place? Knowing your place. That's what this is. So you're coming in it's very smooth. So what I'm noticing here is there's kind of an intense, like, look. Because this line, right, his eyes are intense and focused on you, Taurus. So is this Empress here, right? But your eyes are closed. So what that's telling me is there's something about like having faith that nothing is going to like harm you, if you will. It's like having an energy of, like, for instance, if this is like a dog, right, or something, it's like if you have an energy of it's going to attack me and I will have to defend myself, then the the possibility of that happening is like increased, because that's the energy that you're putting out. So there's something about like you closing your eyes, you not making like holding your energy in a space where it's like everything's fine, everything's calm, and I know that I know that I'm new, you know, and I'm not trying to be alarming or anything. So I'm just gonna chill. And I'm not necessarily gonna look you directly in the eyes because I don't wanna do anything that is going to trigger like a response. And then having to 1, 2, 3, 4, and then having to go into this defensive. You see what I'm saying? Going to defense. You're not wanting to like fight. You see what I'm saying? You're kind of holding the position of calm. Like you kind of came in a little initially, at least in the woods, if you will, like showboaty type of style. And then you realize where you are and you realize your place. And so you're like, okay, let me just chill out for a second. Let me chill for a second. Let's allow the energy to settle for a bit. And it does. It's like there might be an initial charge that comes over you, especially with this 7 of Wands, where you might feel like you need to defend yourself. But it's just the initial meeting with this animal. I feel like this is like a dog. This is like a dog. It's just the initial meeting. It's like, but then, you know, stay calm and everything. Allow them to smell you. Allow them. That's the whole point of this. Allow them to approach you, not the other way around. It's like if you make any. Okay, so sorry. My camera ran out of space. So what were we talking about? We were talking about this creature approaching you, so as to not like trigger a response where you will have to defend yourself. So, because what's interesting is that you initially show up as the 6 of Wands, right? So there is I did see the 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is, maybe that will help to reassure you, is that like this is kind of a part of the process. Like the 7 of Wands is the next step in the process, but this energy here can be easily bypassed, is what it's talking about. You just have to make sure that you're maintaining a very calm, peaceful, humble, modest, like energy initially. Because then what happens is you move into lovers, which is a gorgeous space to be in with the one that you just met. And so it's like you just gotta get past this little space, this space where you're meeting the dog, where you're meeting the familiar, and then it kind of everything eases up and moves into lovers, where it's like you've met, you know what I mean, all of these things, all the cinematic, you know, things have played out, and now you're finally in a space where you can experience what you've been looking at this whole time, because you've been watching, right? You've been watching and waiting and taking in the full picture of who this other is. You're seeing them for who they are, and also in turn you're kind of like seeing a part of you too, right? You're seeing your own place in this story. And then you get to experience it. You get to experience the closeness that you desire. Because I often talk about this Lover's card as like kind of feeling the vibe, feeling the energy in between before any like physical touch has happened. But in this one, I don't know, there seems to be like, I know it's like everything has been presenting like as you both are kind of far apart from each other. Like there's a sense of distance that's created in between you. Like this is you're not even in the same card. Like this is you off in the woods, and this is them in their little stream, in their spring, you know? And then the same thing goes here too. This is kind of you showing up very confident, and them robing themselves, you know, covering up and everything, and showing you, oh, okay, you're confident, but like, look, this is who I am, right? And then you show up again here. There's still space in between you. There's still a lot of space. And in here, in the Lover's card to end off your reading, it's like that space between you has been, oh, there's no more space. You're together now. That's what it's referring to. It's like that distance has been cleared. That's what you're wanting. Oh my God, that's what you're wanting. You're wanting to move forward, but then something was holding you back. Something was stopping. It's like there's a lot of like elements that need to play out, and a part of it is so that you can get your wish fulfillment. But there's also like an emotional aspect to this. So there's the drinking in, if you will, and the enjoyment of the experience. Every nuance, every detail, very cinematic. You see what I'm saying? So it's like space has been created so that you can enjoy the, what do they call that? The anticipation. So that you can enjoy the anticipation, and then at the end of it all, feast, if you will. All right, Taurus, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.